According to the National Institutes of Health, up to 23.5 million Americans suffer from an autoimmune disease, and if left untreated, it can lead to more serious complications.
Joining us live with 5 small lifestyle changes that will help prevent autoimmune conditions is Dr. Elroy Vojdani. He is a pioneer of functional medicine. We're so glad you're joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's just start out here and have you explain what exactly is an autoimmune disorder and who it affects the most.
An autoimmune disorder is essentially one in which the immune system, which has this incredibly important role of defending us against foreign things like bacteria and viruses, makes a mistake and starts attacking your own tissue.
Oh.
All right, so how can someone tell if they actually have this autoimmune condition, and what are some of the symptoms they should look for?
The most difficult part about an autoimmune disease is that it's in its earliest phases, the symptom set is very vague, and many people suffer from them. So it can be something like chronic headaches, brain fog, skin rashes, muscle pain, joint pain, digestive issues. And the real important thing with autoimmune disease is that the disease is caught very early. So these symptoms should be investigated very carefully, and ultimately a blood test will lead to the diagnosis.
Oh, so it is a blood test. That's what I was going to ask you. You have to ask your doctor specifically to test for that, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you also have 5 simple lifestyle changes, which are really cool here to help prevent an autoimmune condition. And you start with saying remove gluten from your diet.
Yeah, so the gluten-free diet is obviously becoming more popular every day, and there's a reason for that. It is not a fad. It absolutely works very well, particularly for people who are suffering from autoimmune issues. I think the easiest way that I get my patients started on this is making a one-for-one switch from regular bread and pasta to gluten-free bread and gluten-free pasta, which are readily available these days. So a one-for-one switch with something like this, a gluten-free pasta.
All right, so the gluten is out, but you say add fermented foods to your diet.
Absolutely. So the gut is the window into the immune system working appropriately or not, and good bacteria fuel the proper environment for the gut. Fermented foods are packed full of good bacteria. Some of my favorites are sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir, and kombucha.
And then we all know fiber also good, but you're saying in this case as well.
Absolutely. So fiber fuels those good bacteria. So if you want them to be happy, you've got to give them what they like to eat. Flaxseed, chia seed, those are my 2 favorite ones. They've got lots of very beneficial omega fats in them as well.
All right. You also say you should skip breakfast once a week. How's that help?
Yeah. So with the digestive system being at the center of the immune system, if you give it a little break every once in a while, it eases some of the burden to the immune system. So cutting out breakfast once a week is where we start. And if you do well with that, just try to add a second day, a third day. The goal is ultimately 5 days a week.
And then, of course, sleep a lot better.
So just like all of us, when we don't get a good night of sleep, we're not thinking as clearly, we're more prone to making mistakes. The immune system is exactly the same way. You don't get a good night's sleep, it's more likely to make a mistake and attack your own tissue.
Are you internal medicine? Is that what your practice is?
I practice a subspecialty called functional medicine, basically looking to help everybody prevent an autoimmune disease from coming their way.
Oh, that's fantastic.
All right, doctor, some good advice. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank
for
you.
more information on Dr. Vojdani and his tips on preventing autoimmune conditions, you can head over to his website. It's right there on your screen, and you can also follow him on social media.